We welcome you into episode number 20 of the No Stop podcast. And unfortunately, some, I guess, bittersweetness for this episode, as Zarius and Joseph are unfortunately leaving the No Stop pod team. And Nick Alves is going to be one and done on the No Stop pod. But in happy news, the Triple Option podcast has already been off to a pretty successful start. They have their first reel out for their mock draft, their first ever mock draft, released last night. So go check that out. And Zarius, how are your feelings on the new idea of the
Well,
podcast?
first of all, I just want to give the utmost thanks to this man right here, Chris Duffy.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
hey, I'm not gonna lie, he gave us the influence,
Yep.
have the courage to go out there, start a new podcast. But
Yeah.
I feel like without him inviting me on, opening up his home, his podcast with open arms to me, I don't think this would have ever been a thing. So I just first want to thank you, Duffy, for
Yep.
this
Yeah.
for this
Thank
opportunity.
No, thank you for like taking it to heart, Without you, we wouldn't even have any success. Like we would have probably been stuck on 15 subscribers. So you really elevated us. So thank you.
Gotcha, Duff. So the
Joseph,
co-owner of the Triple Option podcast, you want to say a few words?
It was an honor being on this podcast. There were many memories, many funny moments.
Yep.
And
Yep.
It was really, it was really a collaborative podcast, and like with the 1v1s and the videos and just the texting in the group chat, it really brought us
Yeah.
together. And this pod won't be forgotten. But
Yeah, no.
Yep.
Yeah, me and Declan, we're gonna try. We're gonna try to carry on the legacy. It's gonna be a little tougher with it just being us two from now on for the foreseeable future, but
it's where
sometimes podcasts are better off with two people, but you guys will be missed. And I mean, maybe later down the line there could be possible like, guest appearances and whatnot, like
Yep.
showing your appreciation for us, having us on here and there. Because I have to say, what I'm thinking of right now on the spot is that there could be, and I'm not saying that this is a definite, but there could be a possibility where we sort of combine the two in a way. If you
Yeah.
think about it, like there have been a lot of that happening to kind of make podcasts bigger. If you think about it, like John Boy Media has a lot of podcasts and stuff like that. So, I mean, maybe later down the line that we could get to that, but yeah, for now, we are two different podcasts. Me and Declan are going to try to carry on the legacy, and you guys will do great things with the triple option.
thank you, Duffy. We really appreciate it.
But anyways, guys, you guys are going to have great success with the triple option podcast. I have faith in you guys to do your own thing. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if you guys got big. It may take time, so be patient, but that's my words of advice. Be patient and your reward will be there waiting right in front of you at the end.
thank
But
Appreciate
you.
it, bro.
anyways, your first reel was your mock drafts.
Yes, it
So
was.
Yeah.
please lay it on us at the No Stop Podcast. Why those thoughts?
All right, Nick, you can start
Uh,
this one.
no, because do you want to just go like the way we did it? Like you
Yeah,
go pick three.
Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah,
as a consensus, because we all had different drafts, different mock
yeah.
drafts
No,
where we had to put
100%.
our ideas together. But as a consensus, we had to come up and agree in agreement with the picks. So with pick three, all three of us think the Giants will be selecting Abdul Carter. That's
That's a
kind of
no-brainer.
it's a
It's like
no-brainer.
Yep.
like
Yeah, we've
even
met with him way too much.
a toddler who has barely learned how to walk would pick Abdul Carter. It's like,
I mean, I think we should pick Travis because like, what's the point of getting Abdul? But
ooh,
like, yeah, he's a generational talent.
yeah,
Like you
exactly.
can't pass up on him.
LT 2.0 possibly. Like a I guess it's a combination he could possibly be between LT and Micah Parsons.
Even
Yeah,
though Travis
That's my
plays
pro
both
comp
sides of
for
the
him.
field, I think Abdul
So,
will be more impactful
yeah.
for a
yeah,
team
I think so too.
because he'll
But what
fill
do you
that
think
role.
about trading Kayvon?
Are we gonna
Like,
do that if we draft
I
I
think we
kind of
are.
want to
I
because
mean, if
I love
anything,
but at the
Kayvon.
it
same time, like if
yeah,
someone could get I don't know if anyone's gonna get moved to defensive line, but if you look at our depth chart, Kayvon and Brian Burns are listed as outside linebackers, and
yeah.
our starting edge rusher is Rakeem Nunez Roches, who's 31 years old.
I
Well,
mean,
yeah, but like they also like they literally rush every single
Yeah,
play. Like
yeah.
Raheem
So
Nunez Roches and
yeah,
like Boogie Basham get in like every few reps when they
yeah.
get tired.
yeah.
I mean,
Um,
I think Evan Neal got to be the first one to go. I'm
mhm.
yeah.
sorry. I think he's got to be the first one to go, if anything.
I mean, speaking of about draft day
Yeah, he's
trades,
definitely a good candidate.
yeah, speaking about potential draft day trades, I mean, just looking across the league, that most recent news report of AJ Brown potentially getting traded if who
Mhm.
was it?
The Patriot. If Travis
If
falls to
Travis
or
falls to
someone
four,
falls
right?
to four,
Then
I
the
think
Eagles,
it's
Oh
yeah, it's
wow.
yeah,
Travis.
Eagles
Really?
want to pursue that. That was interesting. There's a lot
Oh
of
no, it's Abdul Carter that what's it
yeah,
called
it's Carter.
that
Yeah,
falls to four. My
there's a lot
bad.
of candidates out there across the league. AJ Brown, Dallas Goedert, Kayvon, as we mentioned. But yeah, I hope there's a lot of draft day trades.
Yeah.
And add to element of surprise for all
Yep.
Who
the
else do you guys think that
fan
we
bases.
might trade away on draft day? I mean, draft day's in 2 days. It's gonna be like it's
Yeah,
gonna be hectic.
If we draft
Who
a
else do you
receiver,
think?
maybe possibly Wando Robinson or Jalen Hyatt.
yeah,
I was
Wandell.
thinking Jalen Hyatt
But
because
here's
Wandale is
here's
low key a bigger part of our offense.
here's my thought process. I mean, has Jalen Hyatt been a liability? Yes, but Russell Wilson wants him
It's also
badly.
not his fault though.
Right.
Russ wants him though. So it's
I know
like
he does, yeah.
maybe Joe Shane listens to his quarterback that he got for a
I
little
doubt he
bit too
does.
much, but I
I
mean,
doubt he does. You know how he is.
I mean,
I mean, speaking of Russ, I can actually see this Giants team in the coming season succeed if Dable gives, like, if it's 50-50 between Russ and Dable, I can see our offense actually succeeding. Unlike um the Jets, right? You saw a situation with Robert Saleh
yeah,
and Aaron Rodgers where Rodgers
yep,
had like 90% control. That did not work out.
yep,
If it's a 50-50 split between Russ, say he's our starter for the first 6 weeks, depending on how we do. If it's a 50-50 split between him and Dable on how the offense should run, I mean, I think we can be a force to reckon with,
yeah,
especially in a competitive NFC East division. So,
yeah. I mean, in my mock draft, I had Jackson Dart going number 34 if he drops. Now,
mm,
I doubt he's gonna drop that
I doubt
far,
he does.
but if he does, I'm just saying if he does and he gets drafted by the Giants, I mean,
yeah,
That'd
that's
be a game changer.
What
that'd
do
be
you think
great.
about us
top
trading
five
up for him?
quarterback room in the NFL. Top five
What do you
quarterback room
guys
in the
think
NFL.
about us trading up for Dart? Because likely he won't fall.
It's gonna be a lot.
Mm.
You're gonna have to give up a lot if you
Right.
want to trade up
I
And
to
mean,
would
a
get
late
teams even
Dart.
first, a
accept that?
late first isn't that hard to trade
If we
up for.
propose a
Like, yeah, it
trade to,
is.
let's say, like the Rams or Steelers, would they even accept that?
Yeah, I don't know.
I
And
I
mean,
mean, maybe.
if Shadur falls to like 21 to Pittsburgh, and
Mhm.
then the Rams would want to get him,
yeah.
we have to trade up to get him.
I
Something that
mean,
I
does
doubt
scare
he'll
me
fall to
though,
34 though.
something that
Milrow's
does
still
scare
an
me is
option. Milrow's
Yeah,
still an option
yeah,
for you.
yeah,
Milrow
Yeah.
an
can
option.
definitely fall to 34. I don't think he'll be drafted in the first round.
Right. But knowing Joe Shane, I can honestly see him taking Tyler Shaw. I don't want that to happen.
And yeah,
What is he?
no.
He's
Yeah,
24, 20. He's
Not
24,
No,
his
no, he's gonna
25.
be 26, and
Tyler
not just
Shaw is
that,
not going to be good in the NFL, bro.
but he hasn't played like he's only played more than 8 games once, and he's injury prone. He's had I think two broken legs
Yeah.
or something. Like
He should have he should have at this point in time,
UFL, he's
he
going
should
straight to the
yeah, he's going
UFL.
straight
Yeah.
to the
That would
UFL.
just be embarrassing to spend like a third round pick on
Yeah,
him.
It
exactly.
Like
would
Yeah,
we
it
be.
could go
really
ahead and
would.
get like
It would not
offensive,
be.
defensive line, even
Yeah,
a running back.
yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
But honestly,
Like
what do you think about Emeka Buka at 34?
No.
Yeah, I
Like
don't think he's falling. He's
you
not
know,
falling.
he's
I
not
don't.
one, he's not falling. Two, there's no point. Like obviously we have Malik. We have
Yeah,
like a few other guys.
Yeah,
Like, but we can wait on a receiver.
yeah,
Like that's not what we need. We need a
yeah.
quarterback.
yeah. I mean, what are your thoughts on like Quinshon Judkins?
I would love that pick for
I
us.
like him as a
That would
Like
prospect.
Yeah,
be
it'd be a running back
yeah.
fight
Do
for
that would
sure.
help our running back room a lot.
Yeah.
it's and you know what that means? Does Devin Singletary get cut
Maybe he gets traded, but
or
I doubt
something
he
or
Yeah,
ends
cut?
up
maybe he
with it.
gets traded. Eric
Yeah.
Gray.
Eric
He
Gray,
can't
yeah,
be
Eric
there.
Eric Gray
Gray,
might be
Eric
gone.
Gray, Turbo Miller, both of you guys are gone, or Turbo Miller's gonna
Turbo
be
Miller's on the
gone,
practice squad,
and
if
then
I'm not
Eric Gray is gonna be on
Yeah.
practice squad, and then you could possibly have Tyrone Tracy, Judkins, and then
What do you think about
Singletary as
splitting the
RB3.
backfield?
Got to split the backfield. Look at
Aaron
all of
Tracy's
the
a great receiving back.
Yeah,
He
but
He
is.
is. I mean,
look
he
at
was a
all of the
receiver in
top
college,
teams in
so
the NFL. They almost all have duo running
running back
backs.
rooms, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think the Giants have got to do that, especially without number 20, the real number 26,
I think
Saquon Barkley.
what's it called? I have another like draft day prediction. Not really prediction, but what do we think about Ollie Gordon? Like, yeah, he had a fall off season, but like
I mean, OSU just
at one point he was
Oklahoma State
considered
just
one of the best.
sucked.
Yeah,
Oklahoma
exactly.
State
That's
just
what I'm
sucked.
saying. That's
So
kind of
I don't
why.
know if
I,
he's a consideration for us.
I mean, I honestly, here's my thought process, and I was looking at it. He's severely underrated um
No,
in
he at one point he was
on the
the best.
draft stocks.
He
So
was the best running back, but like then he had that
yeah,
DUI and everything.
I mean, the only three running backs for me, in my opinion, that the Giants should really look at and whatever were on their top 30 visits. They had, I believe, Ollie Gordon. They had Judkins and Scatterbo.
And
Those are
Yeah.
the three.
I thought we met with Amarion
Oh,
Hampton
we
too.
did, but he's not falling. He's not
Yeah, he
falling.
won't fall.
He's
Yeah,
going.
But
He's going top 15, top 20.
yeah.
yeah, the pressure is for sure on Shane and the
But you
scouting
know what?
department, though.
Congratulations, Joe Shane, because you're actually doing a way better job of, having guys coming on top 30 visits, I feel. Like
Yeah.
with
Well, we
how
met
But,
with a lot of running backs.
with
but as a
how
Giants fan, though, what
yeah,
are
I
the
mean,
possibilities of us going 2 for 2 2 years in a row? Like, what
I
are the
think it's low
chances?
key likely.
Because, like, you saw how successful our draft picks were last year.
Yeah,
If we
yeah,
hit 2 years in a row,
yeah,
as a Giants organization, that's kind of rare knowing our front office, but
yeah.
Shane's
it's
low
going to
key
be
We'll
really
be good
good.
in
interesting.
the future, definitely.
No, no, I
We
think
hit
that
on every
this
draft pick
team is going to
last
be
year.
good.
Shane's
And
a pretty good drafter, I'm not gonna lie, but
I have a sleeper pick at
oh,
154. He was available
interesting.
for me, and he would be a really great defensive lineman.
What are we
Jordan
talking about?
Phillips. Jordan Phillips has been
Maryland?
in a lot of conversations as of late.
I've seen him. I've seen him play. He's really good.
Like
Underrated pick.
exactly, and
I
that's
like that
why
pick.
like if the Giants were to get him and you have Dexter Lawrence, Jordan Phillips, and then you
Yeah.
have like Abdul Carter and Kayvon Thibodeau and Brian Burns, like top five defensive line in the league.
Yeah, I can
Like
see us taking a guy like Alfred Collins also.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
and if
mean
we do that, like say we draft a running back and then maybe offensive line, maybe a secondary. I pick 154 defensive line would be good, and Jordan
yeah,
Phillips is underrated if he falls there. He'll definitely start. But it's just like you don't know what the order is going to be with like
yeah,
offensive line, defensive line, running
yeah,
backs. There's a lot of options. It just depends who falls there.
yeah. We just have to have faith
But
in
there's many
Shane.
possibilities though. There's many options.
I know I
We
haven't
have to
talked to
have faith in
Duffy about
Shane.
this. I know I haven't talked to Duffy about this, but Duffy, how do you feel with us drafting a tight end anywhere in this draft?
I mean,
Because like
Elijah
obviously we have
Arroyo.
Theo.
Elijah Arroyo was, I think, the only person on the top 30 visit, and I just
I don't
don't
think
see
we go
us.
high. Like I'm saying like a later
I know,
round
I just don't
because
see us because you still have Daniel Bellinger who just didn't have a great year.
Right.
oh yeah, no, that's
Who's
why
young,
like
Yeah, we don't
and
have
then you
before
just
Daniel
drafted,
Bellinger.
and then you just drafted Theo Johnson. You just
Yeah.
drafted Theo
Theo
Johnson.
Johnson was a late pick too.
He can still be a stud in my
He could still
opinion.
be a stud. Exactly,
I'm
like
saying yeah,
you saw
like
the flashes. You
but
saw the
we do
flashes.
run a lot of two tight end sets.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need
Like
another
you've
tight
seen
end.
that. Like we've gotten Chris Manhertz a
Yeah,
touchdown and stuff.
and Greg Dulcich, but I don't see
Yeah.
us drafting I don't see us drafting a tight end. I really don't. We just got to draft. We just got to trust Joe Shane
Yeah.
because last draft, one of the best drafts we've seen in quite some time by the Giants, and
Absolute
then
nail in the coffin. It was great.
this offseason, he beefed up the defensive line. He beefed up the secondary. So like, what's next? Like, draft is next in 2 days, in 2 nights. So one more sleep. Well, yeah, two more sleeps actually. But I mean, it's gonna be intriguing to see. I mean,
Yeah.
but if Joe Shane drafts Shador Sanders or Tyler Shaw.
It might be over.
Well, so
Oh,
Shador's my guy, but not at three.
it's
Not
Yeah,
at
gonna
not
three.
at
be
three.
Not
it's
at
gonna be
three.
a crash out. It really will be a crash out. I'm
Tyler
sorry.
The
Shaw,
one
not at
thing
all. Shadur,
that
not
I
at three.
hate,
Yeah.
the one thing that I low key hate that I've been hearing about is the Giants accepting calls to trade down.
Yep.
Yeah,
Because I
Nope.
think
Yeah, we just heard about that today.
we need
We need pick
that top
three.
three pick.
We need the top three
And
pick.
imagine we didn't beat the Browns week 2, we would
Oh,
have
and
drafted
imagine
number 1 overall.
if we didn't have a win for the fans in the last week against the Colts. That was the
Not
nail in
even
the
if we didn't
like.
beat the Browns, we would have had the number 1
If we
overall
had
pick,
won
even
less
with that
loss,
win
we
with the
wouldn't have
Colts.
had to draft.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have had to sign Russell Wilson, and we
Yeah.
could have spent money on anyone else, and then just draft.
Honestly, I don't like any quarterbacks in this draft. Not high. Not
I
top
mean,
3.
it's literally just like this: Cam Ward, and then
Yeah,
I
but
don't even like Cam
is
Ward's
Cam
game
Ward
that
really
yeah. I
much.
going
think
to do good in
it's
Tennessee, though? Cam
kind of
Ward is a
funny.
good quarterback, but I
Yeah,
don't know about like being in Tennessee.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's kind of
yeah,
funny how we all were so high on Cam
Will
Ward
Levis.
early in the season, but it's just like he's kind of felt quiet, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean,
It's because like
All the
Cam
buzz
Ward,
around Shadur.
I think Cam Ward is not like that much of a coachable guy. Like we've all
yeah,
seen his highlight.
Yeah,
He just doesn't
I can
play.
see
Like
him being another Anthony
like
Richardson type of guy.
What do you guys
perfect
think
bench
about?
comp.
Yeah,
He
What
doesn't
do you guys
to
think
let the play
about
die.
like pick 34 is probably our most complicated pick because we could trade up for a QB, but at the same time, are we really going to spend that high of a pick on like a lineman? So I could like
I think
out of all our picks, do you see us trading pick 34 the most?
I think that we're keeping 34 out of all
yeah.
picks. I think that's
Honestly,
our
It's either Milrow or
yeah,
like
and I
you
think
beef up the offensive
Milrow
line.
at this point, Milrow is 90% who we're gonna draft at
yeah.
this
I
point.
mean, for me, if I'm Joe Shane, because his job is still sort of on the line, I'm playing it safe, and I'm actually
Hmm.
not going to trade anything
Yep.
because what will happen if you trade down, if you trade up, and then you know, in for the lack of better words, you crap the bed. Like that's what's going to happen, and
It
then
just screws
you're
everything up.
gone.
Exactly.
The one thing that I would love for them to trade up, I doubt this is gonna happen because we've been obviously looking at Milrow a lot and we haven't like done too much on Dart, but I do hear that Dart, like the Giants are high on Dart too,
Yeah.
but I would trade up. Like it
Yeah.
doesn't have to be like
And
a blockbuster trade.
yeah, I mean, if
You just have to give
anything,
up a few
Dable
picks.
loves Dart too.
if anything, trade up once. Go get Dart.
Yeah, I would
If
go
you
get
have to
Dart.
get rid of Kayvon Thibodeau, so be it. This team still, I feel like, needs a
Yeah,
true
but
third quarterback. But
who would we give
Giving up
Kayvon
Kayvon
up
to
to?
trade up for Dart, a backup QB.
I mean,
I
I think
mean,
he could start this year,
he could start. I
realistically.
mean,
Like if
and
Russ,
like and I forget who it was, but somebody was saying how um the Giants are going to get rid of one of the two quarterbacks they signed this offseason before the
well, yeah,
season starts.
I think that it kind of was
Mhm.
smart to pick two quarterbacks. Like at first, me and Duffy were talking about it. We were like, it's not smart at all. But like
Yeah,
thinking back,
Yeah.
looking back on it now, I think getting rid of Jameis or Russ would be a good idea,
yeah.
just to
I
get a
mean,
little more draft capital or
yep.
even something we need.
Jameis signed a 2-year deal, so I
Yeah,
think
Jameis signed a 2 year deal, and then they
Russ
signed
is one.
Russ to
yeah,
that
Russ is
one
a
year
1-year deal.
21 mil. It was 21 mil, I think, with
Yeah,
incentives.
And
You keep
9 mil
Russ.
guaranteed, I think. What was it? Something like
10.5 mil.
10.5.
But I
Yeah.
mean, Russ has leadership, so does Jameis. But now it's gonna come down to evaluating it.
All right. Yeah.
Who has more leadership? If it's Russ, goodbye Jameis. If it's Jameis, goodbye Russ. That's simple as that.
Yeah. I don't know. For me
I
with
think we
Dart,
go all in with Russ and
yeah.
let Russ
Yep.
start off the season. If we
Yep.
somehow do trade up for Dart, I'd love that, obviously.
Yep. Yep.
Let Dart sit like a few weeks. If Russ starts like performing under 500, about
Yeah.
500, I think we let Dart get a few starts, see
Yeah.
how he does,
Yeah.
let him
I don't
get
know.
some
Me
experience.
personally, I see Jackson Dart. I think his floor is Kenny Pickett,
Mm.
but at the same
It's not even
time,
that bad. Kenny Pickett's not like he's a
it's not
okay.
good either.
Okay, you know
Is
what?
it
It's
really
not
not?
But
bad. It's
it's
like
just
For
mid.
a floor.
for floor, I see him being Kenny Pickett.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that kind of varies in my opinion, depending on what situation he's placed in.
He's a
Like
lot more
say
mobile though.
right,
Yeah.
say he gets placed on the Giants team, behind two veteran quarterbacks, and a great coach, and a young team that's getting built around him. That Kenny Pickett observation is thrown out the window. But
I mean,
it's just say he goes to a smaller market team. I've seen a mock draft with him going to the Saints. That's where I think that he would
ends
fail.
up being a Kenny Pickett.
He would not thrive in that
The
situation.
thing is that, like, in my opinion, Ole Miss is really similar to the
Yeah.
Giants. They
Yeah.
have one good receiver in Trey Harris, and there's like a few role player guys. He has a pretty like sure-handed tight end. I
Yeah.
think Theo Johnson's really good, and in my opinion, Ole Miss's defense is really good too.
Yeah. I
And like
mean,
guys with like Trey Amos, Chris Paul Jr.,
yeah.
Walter Nolan, all going like at least top 2 rounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, then I guess that means Jackson Dart would be the consensus for us, possibly.
I'd
If
love
Yeah, we would have
that.
to trade up.
Yeah, you
We
know
would
what?
have to trade
I
up.
I'm
mean,
not
if
really
it
sold on
so be
Milrow
it.
though, but if we have to, then
Yeah, I
yeah.
mean, it's
Yeah, I'm not
either
sold on Miller
it's
at all.
either Dart or Milrow, and if anything, if worst comes to worst, like the absolute worst, get somebody like Kyle McCord.
Not
But I
even.
think,
I'd honestly.
but like at the same time, he did enter the transfer portal, so like
Yeah, I mean, but he's prioritizing the
would have
NFL.
so got to see.
I mean, the thing is
It
that
wouldn't
like
be that bad. Draft him
I
late.
think at
Yeah,
34, if we don't get either of those QBs, which we obviously will, you go offensive line. That
yep,
offensive line's been struggling so much over the
yeah.
past few years.
I mean, I'm actually
Nothing
gonna
else you can really do.
piggyback off of that. At pick 99, he was available, and this is also for I guess a depth piece, but I guess he could start the interior offensive lineman from Purdue, Marcus Mbow. I
I've
feel like
seen
he would
him.
be solid. And then later, no, back-to-back offensive linemen. I got at 105 the offensive tackle from NC State, Anthony Belton. So I
I don't
doubled
know if I
down.
I'm not gonna go
really
back to
like that
back.
pick. I wouldn't go
Yeah,
back to back.
I don't think we'll go back to back O line. I
We
think
could
Like
go O line, D line, but
yeah,
in
I think
our
you'd see
in
Possibly.
our
us.
mock at
Yeah,
219, we have Jake Majors, center from Texas. Obviously, like I
Yeah,
explained, JMS obviously hasn't been that all that
yeah,
stunning. He hasn't been like great. Obviously,
yeah,
he's young, still developing, but I
yeah.
think
yeah,
it's time to move on
I
from
think we'll
Yeah.
JMS.
draft two offensive linemen, but definitely not back to back. Like we
Okay.
could
Yeah,
draft a
not
Yeah.
back to back.
guard and a tackle.
right.
Yeah.
And in those third and fourth round picks, say we do like take a running back, right? Do you think that taking a running back in this specific draft class is a necessity only because it's so deep? And we've seen successful draft
Yeah.
classes with running
I
backs,
mean,
heavy running back class, previously. So I think this can be that type of year where you
Yeah.
just see heavy running backs
yeah, I
Definitely.
think
getting
we go
taken
for
off
a
the
running back
board.
this year.
I think it's a good
Honestly,
idea.
Yep.
I love Tyrone Tracy, like we all do.
Yep.
It was absolutely phenomenal last year for us, but like obviously he's not a young rookie,
Right.
Yep.
25 already, or
Yeah.
was I think I don't know if he's 26 yet or not, but still obviously
Yeah.
less years in the league. If we get someone young like Quinshawn,
Yeah.
somehow pull out Marion Hampton, doesn't really
Yeah.
matter. Any of those guys, Ollie Gordon, I think it'd just be good option for us.
Yeah.
For sure.
And pair him up with Tyrone Tracy too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
last year I would have loved to see Devin Singletary more involved in the
Yeah.
offense with the running
Yeah.
back with
I
Tyron
mean,
Tracy, Devin Singletary. But like
yeah.
we didn't see that, and that might mean that we have to draft a running back, and
Yeah.
that Devin Singletary didn't perform as well. But if we can
Yeah.
draft another running back like Judkins, like we could become like Tampa Bay's
Yeah.
rushing
Exactly.
attack.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
mean, we also like saw how Singletary performed in the first few
Yeah.
weeks of the season as a
I
starter.
mean the
He's not
Giants
even
got him for
bad.
ball control, and then he started fumbling the ball. If you're getting him
Singletary's just
because
like
he's
a
good at
backup
controlling it,
caliber.
then
Me
yeah.
personally,
And
I
At
think
first, I was really hype
I
about
think
that
we should
though.
either get an explosive wide receiver or running back, and I think
yeah.
out of that running back would be
I think
better.
I think Scadaboo is the perfect New York
Yep.
candidate.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah,
Um,
I low key would love to pair like a
Yep.
power back like him with a receiving back, even like
Yep.
kind
just
of elusive too.
he'd bring immediate culture to this Giants team.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
that's
has
what
the
I'm
dog.
saying.
He
Like
has the dog in him. He just has the different build, I guess. Like he goes
Exactly.
in, and you saw it. Like he was puking on the sidelines and was still playing. Like
I mean, yeah, I mean, he
You
just
got to
has
have
like
that
that.
fight.
He just has like that high motor that a
Yeah,
lot of people in this draft don't have.
yeah,
He has that
exactly.
grit that a lot of people don't have.
Yeah. So the final two picks before we end off this episode for me and my mock draft, basically depth pieces, just because it's so late in the draft. 219, uh, Jordan Hancock, the cornerback out of Ohio State, and
Mhm.
246, the last pick in the draft, or the last pick for the Giants in the draft, had Andrew Armstrong, wide receiver out of Arkansas, just to have that little cushion in case
Yeah.
players
Perchance, do
underperform
you know how tall he is?
in
I'm sorry to ask that.
no, no, I was just saying like it just to have it there
Yeah, I know.
if there's like any issues in
In
training
ours,
camp or preseason.
we had Caden Prather out
Yeah.
of Maryland.
We had
Um,
Caden Prather and we had
I did a little research on him. He's 6'3", 200 something. I don't remember, but he like for his size, he's honestly pretty fast. Runs a
Yeah.
4.4. Um,
yeah.
and
Dorian,
like
we had Deion Walker, Dorian Strong. Those are just some
Yeah,
names.
I mean Dorian Strong, I mean I did look at him. He looks solid. I mean there's so many ways you can go in
Yes.
this draft. It's not
There
like
is too
it's
many
not
avenues.
Should be a good like
oh,
cornerback
that's what I
pool.
wanted to
Just
mention. Duffy, what do you think at around pick 154? We go with a linebacker who can complement Bobby Okereke
well,
because obviously I love McFadden. McFadden has
McFadden, yeah.
grit, but he's on the
Yeah.
last year of his contract.
That is
He's
true.
gonna
I
want
mean
yeah.
something.
my thought is I don't know because it depends on how the Giants utilize Abdul as well. Because
Yeah,
Abdul's played everywhere. He was a linebacker, then switched to the edge. So it all depends on how Shane Bowen operates this defense.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm at maybe, maybe. Like
Yeah.
there's probably a good 65% that could happen, but right now
If
no
we draft
answers
a
because
linebacker, it'll be late.
like I just said, there are so many ways you can go with this draft. And
Exactly.
we'll find out in 2 days. We'll find out in two
yeah.
nights.
Yep. Too many avenues
Too
causes
many
failure
avenues.
sometimes.
And with that being said, that's going to do it here at the No Stop Podcast. Good luck to the three of you in your triple option podcast. And next episode will be just me and Declan. Peace out.